Mountain View High School, a young high school filled with achievers and dreamers, each one striving hard to showcase their accomplishments. It is like any other American high school. Students can be seen socializing, learning, and going through the trials and tribulations of teenage life. But unlike other American high schools, this student body includes the supernatural.
Back during the construction of the school in 1986, an incident occurred which sparked controversy, which would carry on for the next 15 years.
Many years ago, when I was first hired here, somebody had cut a hole in the roof of the auditorium or of the little theater to put I don't know what it was, some sort of a roof hatch or something up there, and was actually backing up with some material and fell through and hit the floor and died.
I'd heard that the story was that somebody got killed, one of the workers got killed when the wall fell.
I have heard that there is something going on in the auditorium.
What have you heard?
I've heard of sounds of walking, perhaps laughter.
The auditorium ghost, where people will feel like wind go by them when all the doors are shut, or they'll hear whispering or footsteps up on the catwalk, but I never believed any of it was true.
Some guy, when they were building the theater, fell from the catwalk when they were building it, and over the years it's grown, and apparently he died because he fell on the steps and he broke his neck on the theater steps.
I think that somebody died in the theater on the stage, and the workers there found out, and they thought that they would be in trouble because they shouldn't have left him working there alone. It's a safety precaution. You can get in a lot of deep stuff for that. And so I figured, maybe they took him and they hit him in one of the walls because they were still building, and so what the heck.
There is a legend of Thespis, the theater ghost, and what I remember is that they named him Thespis because they didn't really know his name, so they just named him Thespis. And Thespis in history is the very first single actor, and I don't know, just rumors that he's been around the theater, when all the lights are off, you hear tapping and creaks and stuff like that. And some people actually said that they've actually seen people moving. I've never actually seen that, but I hear a lot of kids are freaked out about it and stuff like that.
Most Mountain View High School students have not experienced anything out of the ordinary, but there are, however, a handful that have. These are their stories.
Me and my friend Jamie Sheldon and my friend Angela Siva were walking into the auditorium because we wanted to see if it was really as scary as everyone said it was at night. And it was. And when we walked in there, we saw a little boy running across the catwalk, and there was no one in there. All the lights were out. All we saw was sort of a light onto the little boy, and we knew it was a ghost. It couldn't have been a real boy because it was just an image. It wasn't an actual person.
The very most recent case would be a few weeks ago when I was here for a work day. It was a Saturday, and everybody was out in the bay, and I had to go get a hammer. So I was heading into the shop, and I heard a noise like the toolbox and the closet were just opening and closing, just someone was opening and closing them the whole time, which really kind of set something off of me because nobody else was down in that part of the theater and everything was locked. They'd pretty much have to go by where I was in the bay. And I opened the door very slowly and I look inside. Nothing's in there. Nothing looks like it's been moved. Nothing. So I grabbed a hammer as fast as I could and bolted out of there. It could have been a janitor, I'm not sure, but they would have had to be a very fast janitor to really, they would have had to move very quickly by the time I got into there.